Okay guys, welcome to another video, and finally we're doing the Witcher Wild Hunt review. We will also be doing these headphones, finally reviewing them soon. Yes, I did buy a headphone stand, but that's not important. But yes, Witcher. So I finally beat the game semi-recently. Right now it's actually the weekend, but this won't be coming out on the weekend. But yes, in terms of gameplay, Witcher is basically a massive open world with many regions which you can explore, which I did not realize at first. I thought the main region was big enough and I was happy with it, but learnt about, I think there's about 5 other regions you can explore, including one which is with the DLC. Characters are very well developed, and the writing is actually very good. I learned a lot about the older Witcher games and what is happening in them because they are referenced throughout the story, so new players can learn what's happened in the past stories or the books. In terms of the story itself, man, it's good. So basically, the main story without the DLC is where you go up against the Wild Hunt, who are basically, I believe, they are elves from like an elven race from another dimension, and the leader of the hunt is Eredin, and you have to defeat the 3 leaders of the Wild Hunt. Eredin, who I said is the leader, he's definitely the most menacing sounding, and he has one big long sword, which he literally just turns in his arm like this, like really slow and menacing. It's like, oh. Then you have Caranthir, who you face just before Eredin, who's a mage. He was the hardest fight, strangely enough. I really like Caranthir as well. And then we have Imlerith, who's the first Wild Hunt boss you fight. He has a shield. I forgot to mention Caranthir is a mage, but um, Imlerith only has a shield and this weird, like, long mace thing which he drags along the ground. Makes no sense. Why fight with a massive two-handed weapon using one hand? I don't know. But you do start off at Kaer Morhen, which is the Witcher fortress, where you are with Ciri, who's, I don't know specifically who she is, but apparently she's Geralt's daughter. That's what I heard. And basically, of course, you go around a training circuit, learn how to fight. You go on your first few missions with Vesemir, who taught Geralt the art of combat. And of course, you go your separate ways. And then you basically go through many missions. There's so many missions, side missions and galore. Encountering the crones, who are weird witches who like to eat humans, massive fiends, cyclopses, even a giant. Once you beat Inlerith, you start going to different areas, and then one of the hardest battles is the Battle of Kaer Morhen, where the Wild Hunt attacks. Vesemir sadly dies at the Battle of Kaer Morhen, which was unfortunate. I liked his character a lot. And then, of course, after that, practically the last battle is where you defeat Caranthir, who was hard. He spawns massive rock giants, like gargoyle type things, which act as his shields, which are not easy to get past. And Eredin was weak. He was easy. He was so easy. Then we get onto the DLCs. So the first DLC, I forgot what it was called. Hearts of Stone is kind of strange. So you help a immortal. Well, I assume he's immortal. Oh god, I can't think of his name currently, but he's a lord, and the whole plot revolves around this mysterious guy called Gaunter O'Dim, and you're basically paying back a debt that you made with Gaunter O'Dim, who saves you off a ship. That's a hard section in the game because you have to escape overpowered slavers and a very crazed mage who can like nearly insta kill you if you're not leveled up high enough. Thank God I was. um, but the general thing with this DLC is once you help Odim, you have to beat his trial. And if you don't beat his trial, he won't set you free. I beat his trial. It was hard. It's basically a maze to find. You first of all find a legendary sword, which is optional. I found it on accident, and you just basically have to find your way through this like evil-looking maze in this strange foreign land, and then he dies basically. But yeah, I'm not really going to go too much into the missions because I want you guys to play it yourself if you haven't. And in terms of the whole DLC as a whole, it was very good. Next is the Blood and Wine DLC. Holy crap! This is one of the best DLCs I have ever seen. So the premise of this is actually a killer in the region of Toussaint, who's known as the Beast of Beauclair. Awesome theme, by the way. Check it out. I listen to it all the time. And I'm thinking, Beast of Beauclair. So, first enemy I faced in this DLC, apart from your average monsters, was a giant frog. And no, it wasn't the Beast of Beauclair. It was just a random giant frog, who was apparently a prince from a faraway land. I'm like, great. And then, of course, once you get more into the story of the Blood and Wine and DLC, the Countess of Toussaint actually gifts you land, so you get your own house, you get your own like major domo, who's basically a butler. But in terms of the story, the Beast of Beauclair is actually a elder vampire, which I wasn't expecting. And there's one point where he attacks the city after killing 3 people, including one of your close friends. And that battle, oh my god, it was crazy. So the aim is to make it through the city, but the issue is there's a horde of vampires which you need to beat. Massive giant demon things and things called Bruxa, which are female vampires who lurk in the shadows. Only way to kill them is to catch them in a magic trap. Then you can basically insta-kill them, but just catching them in the trap is a chore, and when you're getting attacked by 3 of them at once, plus a overpowered, tall, giant demon vampire creature, it's not fun. But it was a fun battle. In terms of fighting the vampire, his name is Dettlaff. Oh my god, I wish I didn't have to fight him. There are 2 choices where you hand over the woman who he loved, because basically Dettlaff was blackmailed, and I didn't choose to hand over the woman. Well, the woman, I chose to kill him because he killed innocents. I made a terrible choice because it's partially because of the ending, which I'm not going to go into, but the fight was lethal. It was hardcore. It was a hard fight. I was playing on max difficulty as well. This fight took me about a month to beat, just this one fight. So his first form is easy. Weak sauce. It's just him. Even though he can block every attack, you have to wait until he tires down to even do damage to him. Next form, he turns into an overpowered demon vampire overlord, and he's like, if you believe in any gods, start praying now. My first time, I'm like, alright. Next moment, I'm dead. I got insta-killed. I'm like, oh no. So he has a bat move which you have to avoid. He basically shoots bats made out of blood at you. If you get caught in them, it will either insta-kill you or make you dizzy, and then he will, of course, charge down, fly into you, and kill you. So you have to avoid 2 very overpowered attacks, hit him twice, and then you'll jump off it into the air again. Form 3 is where you have to destroy these massive sacks, which are basically made out of blood. Disturbing, I know. Which is hard because Detlav basically turns into those sacks, and the monster fighting you is literally Detlav in the overpowered form made out of blood. Ugh. But after you destroy those sacks, you basically beat him, and oh my god, it was a hard fight. Never again. Like, if I'm playing this game again, I'm turning down the difficulty because it was hardcore. It was too hard for me. And I like to play on harder difficulties. I like a challenge, but sometimes I'm just like, no. But yeah, out of the DLCs, Blood and Wine is definitely the best, and it also has the better music and introduction where you fight against a giant. So yeah, that's mostly running it up. I know I've not given the most in-depth description on the game because I want to keep it quite hidden. I will say in terms of characters you play, Geralt, of course you have your sword. You can also have a crossbow, which frankly you don't need to use. It sucks. And magic, which I applaud you to level up. I did not know how to use the level up versions for ages, but then I worked it out. I'm like, oh, this is useful. In terms of Ciri, who is, I believe, Geralt's daughter, she can basically go around insta-killing Wild Hunt members while Geralt can't. So I don't know the lore behind this. I don't know the reason why. If anybody knows, please tell me why she's so overpowered. But she still gets defeated by Caranthir, and you have to kill Caranthir. So yeah, this is the end of my review on Witcher. As I said, the headphones will be coming soon. I'm also planning to do the campus tour soon, and also a review of Phoenix Rising because I'm playing that game a lot recently and I'm loving the heck out of it. So yeah, that was entertaining stuff. And in terms of the documentary, which I have finished, it may not be uploaded because of kids being in the production, even though we have permission. So yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed my frankly terrible review. And yeah, bye.